Happy super new moon in Libra. This Libra new moon became exact on Friday, October 16th at 3:31 p.m. New York time, which is 1931 Greenwich Mean Time. As a reminder, a supermoon occurs when the moon is physically closer to the Earth than usual, thus amplifying its effects. If you've been feeling an intensity of energy in the air, then you're not alone. 2020 is starting to ramp up to what will be a dramatic astrological nightcap with the great conjunction of Jupiter and Saturn on this upcoming solstice. The new moon in harmony-seeking Libra opposes Mars, still retrograde in its fiery home sign of Aries, creating this tense dichotomy between conflict and resolution both in the inner and outer worlds. This new moon also forms a T-square with the opposition to Mars and a square with the Jupiter-Saturn-Pluto trio in Capricorn. This is creating an extraordinarily intense tension in the collective, as the entire world is anxiously anticipating the results of the upcoming United States of America presidential election. There's a feeling in the air of being at a turning point in the collective timeline. People are taking politics very seriously right now, and that is leading to a deepening of ego separation, as many people are digging their heels deeper into their false ego identity structures based on their sex, gender, race, political affiliation, and more. With so many planets in cardinal signs, which are Libra, Aries, and Capricorn, there's a palpable feeling of action in the air. It feels like we're at a collective American football game and overtime is about to start. It feels like something is about to happen. Use this setup to your advantage. Instead of playing into the collective angst, channel the energy you're feeling into creating your future. Channel whatever nervous energy in your body into your creations, be it your business, art, fitness journey, or whatever else suits you. Avoid getting into drama or creating unnecessary drama. With Mercury and Mars both retrograde, don't be surprised to experience miscommunications in personal and business relationships, electronic malfunctions, and people having unexpected emotional reactions. Mercury and Mars retrograde aren't all bad, though. They are an extremely valuable time for alchemizing the inner world. Let's discuss this Mercury retrograde in length. Mercury retrograde in Scorpio, integrating past experiences. Mercury retrograde is always an interesting time, but this time around it's going to be extra interesting. Mercury is currently stationed, which means it's exalted, in Scorpio, slowly beginning to travel retrograde. It will be retrograde until it stations again direct in Libra on November 3rd, which, yes, is election day. So, it's pretty likely, I would say it's like 80% chance we will not know who the winner of the election is on the night of November 3rd. Mercury retrograde is a time of communication, relationship, and electronic difficulties, yes. However, it is also a time of introspection and inner work. This is especially relevant this time around as it is occurring in the fixed water sign of Scorpio. Scorpio is home of our most repressed emotions, feelings, grief, longing, and desires. It is also the sign of transmutation. It represents death and rebirth. If you haven't already been feeling it, so many of us are going through inner deaths right now. Perhaps a romantic relationship or a job has just ended, or you've experienced some other type of loss in your life. Perhaps things haven't panned out as you would have liked them to this year. This has been a frustrating year for many people. Or perhaps everything is going pretty well for you right now, in which case you're still likely to have some inner emotional stuff that is going to come up to be revisited and integrated during this time. Childhood wounds are going to come up in different ways. Perhaps the grief you feel over a lost love will reflect the abandonment you have felt as a child when your mother wasn't or father weren't home. The anger you feel over someone who didn't live up to your standards might reflect the rage inside of a parent who didn't know how to nurture you in the way that you deserved. The disappointment you feel in yourself might reflect the disappointment you felt when you expected one of your parents to praise you and instead they ignored you. The truth is that we repeat these childhood wounds for our entire life, unconsciously utilizing other people as a substitute for our parents or those who raised us. That is until we consciously undergo a journey of healing and start to transmute these old patterns into new, more spiritually mature patterns of relating to ourselves and the world. As we consciously heal and eliminate the immature and underdeveloped patterns of relating and communicating that were the hallmarks of our childhood and teenage years, we create space for more of the higher aspects of soul consciousness to stream through and express through the personality self. Ultimately, our ability to alchemize the negative patterns, traumas, and unresolved pains within all boils down to two key words: forgiveness and love. We all have been traumatized in one way or another by the density and uncertainty of the third dimensional life. The more radically we're willing to forgive ourselves and others, the more we are able to make room for new and more grand blessings from the universe to arrive in life. Think of a doorway. Picture a doorway in your mind. The universe is attempting to bring you all the blessings that you were meant to have on your highest possible timeline through this doorway, and these blessings are meant for you. However, let's say that you piled baggage from the past in front of the door, holding on to regrets, resentments, could-haves, should-haves, and what-ifs. There's not going to be any room for the universe to bring you what you're truly asking for, whether it's wealth, health, the perfect relationship, or anything else your heart desires, if you've piled all this baggage up and blocked the doorway. By forgiving the past, forgiving others, and forgiving yourself, you allow room for what you truly desire to enter into your real experience. To expound on the metaphor of a doorway, let's say you're not holding too tightly onto the past, but you're actively judging, hating, and being mean to yourself. And for most people, when you're holding too tightly onto the past, you're also judging, hating on, and being mean to yourself. But even if you're not holding on to the past, let's say you're just judging and hating on yourself. If you're doing that, well, you might as well be actively barricading this doorway of blessings with your own will, not allowing the universe to bring you the blessings you truly desire. It'd be like the universe trying to throw you and just somehow get to you exactly what your heart truly desires, but you're just pushing it back because you're not loving yourself. Love is the currency of creation, and when we withhold love from ourselves, we take ourselves out of the natural flow of life. If a windstorm happens and a tree loses a branch, it would be pretty silly to think that a tree would blame itself or the wind. Tapping into the consciousness of trees, and I love communicating with trees, I would gather that a tree simply accepts losing the branch as a part of life and carries on with as much joy as possible. When we experience a windstorm in our own lives, we may feel like we have lost a branch. After going through a storm, the most important thing you can do is to stop blaming yourself and to understand that life always has a plan. The second most important thing you can do is to stop blaming other people or God or life or whatever other forces out there, and realize that there is a greater plan at play here. And, sometimes it takes time to really integrate past experiences and to understand why something really happened, and to be grateful for not just what happened, but the characters that were involved and the circumstances that were involved, and even to be grateful for the things that you wanted to work out that didn't work out, or the things that you thought were one way and turned out a different way. And to have that sense of gratitude is something that is the essence of alchemy. It's the essence of alchemizing in this lifetime, which is really one of the main things we're here to do. We're meant to take whatever happens, which is whatever is in our life plan, and as the ego self, we want to be able to control that, and we want to be able to create exactly the chess moves that are going to make whatever we want happen. And what ultimately happens is whatever is meant to happen. Life, your soul has that plan. Whatever's meant to happen is going to happen. But when we can learn to accept things that have happened, when we can learn to accept the things that we wanted to happen and the things that we didn't want to happen, the things that we liked and the things that we didn't like, and to accept all of it, and to express gratitude and forgiveness and acceptance for ourselves, the characters involved, and for life, then we're truly doing that inner alchemy that we came here to do. And we're able to then open the door for our highest possible timeline to manifest in front of us, because we're not weighing ourselves down. Another metaphor is like Imagine if there's different train tracks and one is above the other, and in order to ascend to the higher train tracks, you have to let go of the baggage that you're holding on to. Because if you're holding on to the baggage, you're in more density, and you must stay on one of the lower tracks, which may be a timeline where you're not going to be as pleased with your life as if you were in one of the higher, lighter timelines. So as you let go of the past, forgive yourself, forgive others, get on board with where life is taking you right now, get on board with the present moment, you're able to ascend to those higher timelines, and you might receive what you really want much faster. You might receive what you really desire in a much easier and more graceful way. So this is a lesson for everyone. We all, each and every one of us has to go through this. This is what we're here to do. And this is what this Mercury retrograde in Scorpio is really all about. It's about alchemizing and letting go of the past. Scorpio is all about death and rebirth. It's allowing the things of the past to be processed, to allow for rebirth. And it's an inner process that we're going through here. So this Mercury retrograde in Scorpio is a special one, and it's a powerful one. It's so don't resist it. Don't dread this Mercury retrograde as, oh my God, what's going to come up here? What's going to, am I just going to be constantly crying and just accept it. Accept what comes up as what needs to come up, and as an opportunity to get the baggage away from the door and just allow the door to open for the blessings to come in. So, and for so many people, 2020 has been a tough year. It has. And what we're doing astrologically here is we're just doing a lot of releasing this year, a lot of releasing of inner stuff. And as we lead up to that conjunction on the solstice, that can be a huge turning point for both individuals and for the collective, where we can really move into a much higher timeline for 2021 as a planet. Even the more that, because of course, as the more that we do our inner work as light workers, we're sending that vibration of alchemy out into the collective field, and then we're stepping up the vibration of the planet just doing that. So it's all about that alchemy. It's all about the forgiveness, the love, and the gratitude, and those are really the keys to life. This is what the masters all speak about. When I listen to Sadhguru speak, he's one of my favorites. It's all love, forgiveness, alchemy. So we'll be actively working on this self-love, self-forgiveness during this period, as I said, and your mind may draw you back to the past. And when it happens, just ask. A great question to ask your higher self and your guides is, what am I meant to forgive, love more here, or be more grateful for, or see in a different way? So that's a great question to ask when the past comes up in your mind. What am I meant to forgive more, love more, be more grateful for, or see in a different way? Because there's always different ways of looking at things, and there's always usually a higher perspective of looking at your past than your mind may be habitually wired to look at the past. Usually our minds are wired to look at the past as basically something we survived, right? Especially for those of us who've been through a lot of trauma in our lives. It's like, okay, we just survived that. But there's a higher calling here, and when we can, even just for a moment, look at the past in a different light, with those rose-colored glasses, with those even white-colored glass, higher vibration glass, angelic-colored glasses, and see like, oh, I think that was all meant to be. Even though it sucked, or even though it didn't work out, or even though it did work out, or even though it was really uncomfortable, or even though it was really comfortable, or even though it was whatever it was meant to work out like that. It was just meant to work out like that. And then that it allows you to actually be present. Because even if that's just for a moment, you're no longer fighting the past. You're just coming into communion with the present. And that opens up the possibilities for the highest possible future. Libra seeks harmony and balance. Libra is the sign of harmony and balance. So let's explore how that applies to life. What is disharmonious in your life right now? What is out of balance? Life tends to give us different parts of our overall curriculum, our life plan, at different stages of the linear timeline. I'm sure you can think back to a time in your life when maybe you had a harmonious romantic relationship, but perhaps some other parts of your life were out of balance, like work or health. Or maybe at one point your finances were harmonious, but you were spending too much time working and not enough time having social interactions, or so your relationships or maybe even your health might have suffered in consequence. We can check in with the disharmonious parts of self to look for where the lessons are in our life curriculum. For example, if your physical health is out of balance, then that's where your number one priority needs to be. If you're feeling healthy and strong, but your finances are out of whack, perhaps then the focus needs to be on putting the extra effort into creating your perfect business or climbing the ladder to your place of employment. When your health, wealth, and relationships are feeling harmonious, you will have mastered a certain part of your curriculum. But what about when it feels like you're doing everything that you can to move one of those facets of life from disharmony to harmony, but it seems like whatever you do, you just can't move the needle? This is the case when it's just not the time yet for that harmony to anchor into your physical reality. Why isn't it the time? Because you're actually learning more from the disharmony. This is why, for example, chronic illness can be one of the greatest teachers of all. The parts of self that you encounter, the books that you read, and the people you meet along the way come to you because of your great desire to get out of pain and heal yourself. This has been the crux of my journey for the past decade, and it is what has birthed the wisdom that I share with you in my work. Life always knows exactly what the best way for you to learn is. The universe knows your learning style better than you do. So you do what you can do and only what you can do. You put in your best effort and surrender the timing to the universe. All things happen on the universe's schedule, not the schedule of ego. So if your finances are in disharmony, then what steps can you practically take to bring them more into order? Maybe there's a higher paying job out there that would actually make you feel more aligned than at your current job. And yes, even in the COVID economy, the law of attraction isn't suspended right now. The law of attraction doesn't go on pause when there's a worldwide economic recession. There are still people out there making very good money. I've known people that have been clients earlier this year that actually got higher paying jobs this year than the year before. So it is possible. If your health is out of balance, then have you really tried everything yet? Are there existing protocols that a practitioner has given you that you never really executed fully? The most important factors, in my opinion, to physical healing, aside from having a solid plan, are belief in your ability to heal and the discipline to execute the plan or protocol that your practitioner has created. If you are desiring the perfect relationship to enter into your life or to make new friends, yes, even in this COVID time, then are you really making an effort to put yourself out there and give the universe the opportunity to give you what you're asking for? If you're in a romantic relationship right now and you're going through difficulties with your partner, then are you willing to do what it takes to ameliorate the relationship, like going to couples counseling and each of you doing your inner work? So you do what you can do, and you ask yourself, which area of my life needs the most work right now? And you put 60% of your effort there, 60% of your effort into that one area, and you allow the other 40% to be spread out over the other areas that don't need as much work. That's just my personal opinion on that. But everyone can make their own pie chart. The LightWorkers Incubation. I said that word pie chart, and I just felt how much I miss having a pie. I love pie. I love blueberry pies. I miss having blueberry pies. I'm gluten-free, so I can't. I'll have to find a gluten-free pie somewhere. Okay. Speaking of harmony and balance, the Lightworkers Incubation. Speaking of harmony and balance, we all go through periods of time in life when we are more social and outgoing, mixed in with periods when we are more introverted and holed up, so to speak. In the periods of extroversion, we might tend to learn more about ourselves through friendships, working relationships, and romantic relationships with others, while during the more introverted times, we tend to learn more about ourselves from being isolated. There is a very common period of time that all lightworkers I have encountered, including myself, go through at one time or another. In fact, we usually go through several of these periods. It can be referred to as a period of incubation or the dark night of the soul. During this time, which can be often following an accident, a decoupling, a job loss, a death of a loved one, or the onset of chronic illness, or even an acute illness, the lightworker finds himself or herself feeling withdrawn, frustrated, disheartened, or embittered with the world, and sometimes physically not able to go out and interact much. And of course, during COVID time, many are just, because of the situation or just being careful, you're not able to interact much at all with the world. These periods of incubation are not by accident, rather they are built into your life plan. During the incubation periods, you are usually incorporating and integrating massive amounts of physical changes on the inside, and your body needs for you to slow down. Usually what's also happening is as your body is physically going through a rapid ascension process, you are concurrently going through a rapid emotional ascension process. You're forced to face a darkness within during a period of incubation that you wouldn't have looked at during a period of expansion or prosperity. Because who wants to consciously go digging into their pain? Most people don't, right? It comes up when we're alone or when we're going through a tough time in life. During this pandemic, which sadly now seems to be ramping up again in Europe and many parts of the United States as the weather gets cooler, most of us have been incubating, or at least a lot of us. And for much of us, social interactions become much more common online, over the phone, than in person. And as lonely and frustrating as this can be at times, it's really all okay. Whether we consciously chose to have a period of incubation or the pandemic made it necessary, it's something that we were meant to experience. When spending more time alone, it is an opportunity to form a deeper connection with yourself. Make sure you are turning your attention away from your electronics for at least a portion of your day or evening in order to get in touch with your inner world. Yoga, meditation, tai chi, walking in nature, and any other activity that harmonizes you will always be helpful in nourishing your soul, filling the gap that the lack of social interaction may create. Actually, you might find it feels even more completing when you utilize your spiritual practices rather than social interactions to nourish yourself. But, of course, ideally, we want to have a balance of both. And please remember, of course, the truth is whether you're around people or not, whether you're talking to people on your phone or your laptop or not, you're always surrounded by guides and angels, and we tend to forget that. I usually remember that I am surrounded by my guides and angels in moments of clarity in nature or when I take time to meditate. I feel it. I feel it. I can feel it now. I feel that I'm not alone. I feel that I'm always looked after by a team, and all of us have that team. So just remember, whether you're in a period of incubation or a period of prosperity and advancement and meeting a lot of people right now, wherever you're at, it's okay, and you always have that spirit team with you. Wishing you a harmonious, peaceful, and exciting super new moon in Libra. With love, Matthew John. If you're not familiar with who I am, I'm a spiritual teacher, spiritual mentor, psychic, intuitive healer, starseed guide, energy healer, and medical intuitive. I'm a gifted intuitive, wisdom channeler, and transmitter of healing frequencies. I've been on an over 12-year awakening journey, and I love being able to share my teachings with you every 2 weeks for these full and new moon updates. And also, I would love for you to check out my website and check out everything else I offer. It's youaredivinehuman.org, all spelled out, youaredivinehuman.org. I have a whole library of educational videos, of interviews I've done, and articles for your spiritual enjoyment and assistance. And I also offer courses and private sessions and mentoring packages worldwide. And I do have a course coming up, a Mastery Empowerment course coming up very soon. It is on Saturday, October 24th, and we're going to be talking all about angels, archangels, ascended masters, and spirit guides. It's going to be a really, really fun one. It's a 2-hour live course, and we're going to teach how to connect with your spirit guides, why you have certain spirit guides in your life, how to connect with your higher self, how your spirit guides contact you, an understanding of a selection of different ascended masters, archangels, angels, Hindu entities, how to use angel cards, and much more. And we're going to do several group meditations to help people meet their guides. Many people have never met their guides, and it's really, really cool to meet one or more of your guides. So we're going to do this on this call. Okay, advanced registration is required. If you can't make it live, you will receive an email with the link to watch the webinar, watch the course on demand. So don't worry if you can't make it live. Just make sure you register. It's only $33 US. And to access the registration page, go to my website, youaredivinehuman.org, and click on webinars and events. And it is the second listing. It is the all about our angels, archangels, ascended masters, and spirit guides. You'll see it on that page. And I am also taking on new people for my very popular spiritual mentoring package to get started in the month of November. And these packages are meant to be all-encompassing transformational programs working with me to discover who you are and to heal all parts of yourself that you want to heal at this time. I offer 4, 5, 6 session and longer packages. And I just like to briefly go over what you get in the packages. There's the package A, which is called Transformation and Healing. You get 4 90-minute plus private sessions in total with me, including an extended soul plan reading. And in the soul plan reading, what I'm doing is connecting in with your spirit guides and your life plan and your higher self. And I am reading what are your soul lessons, what is your karma, what are your karmic relationships, what is going on in any sort of relationship that you want to know about, what is the karmic baggage or the karmic history between you and a parent or a sibling or a romantic partner, anyone in your life, and what are you meant to learn, what are you meant to alchemize, what are you meant to alchemize from said relationship. And we'll talk about your future. I'll channel through what I see for your future and answer any questions at all you may have. In the second session, we do an angel energy healing and aura cleansing with a soul retrieval, an inner child healing, and an unhealthy attachments purging ceremony. So it's an hour and 40-minute shamanic healing journey with me, and it is intended to really make a big transformational shift in your life through inner work and also through working with a team of angels to work on your chakras and clean up your aura from any parasites or any other sort of anomalies that you don't need there. The third session, we do a medical intuitive nutrition reading, and this is for your physical health, well-being, and vitality. I'm going to do a body scan to look inside your body, look at your organs, and look at what I see and what the guides say. Do you have heavy metal toxicity? Do you have candida? What is going on in your body? And we'll put together a protocol as far as supplements, perhaps even homeopathic remedies, diet, exercises, meditation, sound healings, and much more. And you'll get a protocol, a 7 to 11 page protocol in your email within a few weeks after the session that will be a resource you can keep with you to navigate your physical healing journey. And this is great for anyone with chronic illness that wants to figure it out. And this is also great for anyone who just wants to maximize their health. You want to know what diet is best for you. You want to know what you need to work on, what you need to cleanse, whether it's heavy metals or parasites or whatever. You'll get this information in this reading, and we'll give you a plan with the protocol. You also get a chakra scan and report with that as well, focusing on the health and well-being of your 7 main chakras. We also are going to do a Starseed discovery session, and that's usually the 4th session. This is a fun one. You get to find out whether you are a galactic soul or a new soul. If you're listening to this, you're probably a galactic soul. You probably come from the stars, and you'll get to take a journey to your home planet to actually experience what your planet is like, and it's really a wonderful experience. It's a life-changing experience, and it's something that you can always keep with you as an enhanced connection to your home world. A lot of people, after they do the journey, they ask me, well, can I go back? And I say, yeah, you can go back anytime on your own. Now that you've been there, you know what it looks like, you know what it feels like, and you can go back there on your own time in meditation. It's really a wonderful thing to be able to visit your home planet. And you also get an intuitive and psychic development coaching if we have time, awakening coaching, spiritual business development coaching as we have time as well. I have helped a lot of people over the past few years launch their spiritual businesses, launch their life coaching businesses, and it's one of my passions as well, is helping people with that. So if you're a spiritual entrepreneur or you want to be, working with me is a great idea, because I'm really going to give you the motivation and the tools that you need to really get going with your spiritual business. And I will give you some spiritual homework between calls as well. And you get unlimited email support with me between calls as well. So anything you want to ask me about between calls, email me. I will get right back to you. And you get 3 bonus courses with this: Putting the Past in the Past, Mastering Your Intuition, Spiritual Hygiene, Cord Cutting, Grounding 101, and my bonus ebook, Developing the Skills of Discernment and Intuition. And that's all Package A. Package B has all that, plus a 2-hour past life regression session. So the past life regression session, what we're doing is we are taking you on a journey into your past lives, and you're going to go to the most relevant past lives that your higher self wants you to experience to help you to understand your life better. And you'll also go to the space between lives. This is just fantastic for helping you to really get to know yourself better. And I remember my first past life regression. It was jarring because there were some not fun lives that I saw, but then there was one really great life that I saw. So I love leading people on these past life regressions, and we really get to see, you might even see characters from your present day life as they were in other lifetimes, that same soul. So that's fun. That's Package B. Package C has all that, plus the future life progression as well, which is a journey into your future, which is really cool too. You get to see your highest possible future in this lifetime. 6 months out, a year out, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years. We can go as far out as you want to go. And you get to, it's great for just giving you a sense of like a compass direction, and also just a sense of hope. Like, oh yeah, life is going to turn out pretty great for me here on my highest timeline. So that's all Package C. So that's 6 sessions in Package C, plus you get more bonus courses. You also do offer what's called Package D, which includes all that, plus some optimization coaching sessions. So if you have any questions about the packages, and also I do offer all of these types of sessions that you get in the package, I do also offer all of them individually as well, a la carte as well. So if you're interested in purchasing the sessions a la carte, you can do that on my website. Okay, so again, it's youaredivinehuman.org. If you have any questions for me about the packages, about the options for sessions, about the new moon, or about anything else, I have a personal question, if you go to my website, usually there's a chat tab in the bottom right corner. It doesn't seem to be working right now. I'm not sure why. I may have to fix it. So if you don't see the chat tab, then just send me an email. It's youaredivinehuman@gmail.com. youaredivinehuman@gmail.com. That's how you can contact me, okay? All right, everyone. Thank you so much for listening. Please, of course, like, subscribe, comment if you enjoyed the audio transmission here. I really appreciate it, and I'm looking forward to speaking to you again in 2 weeks. Wishing you my love. Remember to be kind to yourself, be kind to others, be kind to the earth, be kind to animals. This has been Matthew John.